This is an introduction to Numbers. Numbers is a spreadsheet program that comes with Apple products. To open Numbers, look for the green icon with the bar charts going vertically. Click on that, and then it's going to bring you to a menu. How do we start a new one? We click on the plus symbol, that's for a new one, and notice that there are all kind of templates to choose from. In this case, we're going to choose a blank template. Spreadsheets consist of rows and columns. So the rows going this way and the columns going this way. In traditional spreadsheet terminology, the rows are usually called records and the columns are usually called fields. But in this case, we're just going to be simple and just call these rows and columns. The first thing you'll notice, especially in most Apple programs, is there's not much on the screen. In Apple, they tend to hide things until you need them. So, we have to start making entries on our rows. The rows, or records as they called, contain items that are related to each other, such as information on a person would be their name, address, and phone number. So the person's name would be in the first cell, their address, phone, etc. Now let's take a look at what we'd like to create, a Saint schedule. The first thing we see is in the row across the top, we have pregame 1, pregame 2, pregame 3. And we also have, this first pregame is on a Saturday. The second pregame is on a Monday, etc. We want to enter P1, P2, and P3. Now, this is kind of an unusual way to do a spreadsheet in that this area right here is what we're working on. That's what we want to start with, and those are related information items. We also want to put our title here. As you can see, the screen that comes up is very simple. Apple tends to hide items until you need them. The first thing we need to do is put our title in. Now we can use our finger or an Apple Pencil. For this, I'm going to use my finger. Notice when I press my finger in a cell, the names of the columns in the alphabet come up across the top, and the numbers of the rows come up across the left side. This is very common in spreadsheets. The columns start with A and go to B, C, D, E, F, G in alphabetical order, and then start again A, B, etc. The rows coming down are just simply numbered, row 1, 2, etc. We need to change the title, the name of the spreadsheet we're going to work on. So we can use either the pencil or we can use our finger. In this case, I'll use my finger. So we press our finger on the title, and if we double click, we're going to see the blinking cursor. Now if I double click again, it's going to select the whole word. It's good to know in computers, if you double click with your finger, or you double click with your mouse, or you double click with your pencil, that means something, and so does triple click. When you double click, it generally selects the word. If you were to triple click, it would usually select the whole row, or in this case, it would select several words. In any event, now what I want to do is change the title. Now, if I have the whole title selected, now what I want to do is select the microphone symbol. So I press on that. PT Saint schedule. Now, it just printed what I said. Now, what I want to do is change the S to be capitalized. So, this is really important in Apple. If you press on the space bar and hold it, you can actually move the cursor. Okay, now I can change it to a capital S. Now I hold and press the space bar. Now I can press a capital S. And I want to make this right. So I press Saints schedule. Now I'm done. So now I have my title. On the first row, we want to mark the preseason game numbers. So P1, P2, P3. So let's click into a cell. Now we want to put P1 in there. So we press on the keyboard icon. And we can just press the microphone. P1. Now we want to press on this next cell where we want P2, press the microphone, P2. Press the microphone again and it stops. Now, if you notice, the blinking cursor is after the 2. Now, if we press outside the cell and then press back into it, you can see the whole cell is selected. Now, if we press and hold on the cell and we press copy, now that's in what's called the clipboard. Now we can take here, we can press on this cell, press it again, and press paste. Now all we need to do is change the number to 3. So now we have our P1, P2, P3. Now we want to change the font of the P numbers. Okay, so what we do is click. Now double click and it selects P1. Now when you want to change the look of something, you use the paintbrush. And now you're going to see it says size, text, color. In this case, we're just going to make the text bigger. So we're going to plus, whoop, until we get the size we want. Okay, now we also want to center the text. So under this paint icon, we look for the center icon, which is here. Now it's centered. Now I select on the second one, paint, select, so I'm going to center it. Now we got our second one centered. Now there is a way to copy the formatting, but this is easier on a laptop, a MacBook. In any event, I'm going to do this by hand, double click. I'm going to click the paint plus, I think it was about 16 point. Okay. And now we want to center it. Now we have our beginning spreadsheet. And this is the end of the first lesson.